Well, it's a new year, a new tax season, and we have a new president, and we've heard a lot about the potential for tax reform.
So earlier today, President Trump spoke after a meeting with Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross, Reince Priebus, members of Congress, and Vice President Pence about tax reform and trade. The president reiterated a pledge he has promised for months, saying, quote, taxes are too high. We're going to take care of that. President and CEO of H&R Block, Bill Cobb, joins us now on set. Bill, good to see you. Happy New Year.
Well, nice to see you again. Nice to see you, Rena.
So you wrote an article that says President Trump is correct about the need for tax reform. What's your rationale behind that? How do you see H&R Block's way of thinking lining up with the president?
Yeah, so we came at it from was the ability to streamline the tax code, remove some of the small burdens, the burdens on small business, and there's some reform issues at the IRS that I think we should consider. Rates are leaving that to Congress and the president, but I think the president is right. Tax reform is needed for us. You know, we'll be able to work through whatever those changes are. A lot of the changes may switch things around. There's talk about expansion of child credits. There's talk about whatever is done to Obamacare, repair or replace, but there still would be refundable credits. So from our perspective, people are still going to need help. But we know a lot about individual tax returns. We have pledged to cooperate and help the Congress and the administration. So we look forward to that conversation. For us also, corporate tax reform is a good thing, as our tax rate's in the mid-30s. So that'll be a nice add-on for us.
We know in general Republican administrations had a tough time cutting corporate taxes, even though there may have been promises of that. How do you see changes that the Trump administration might try to implement affecting corporate America as well as the individual taxpayer who really is impacted by these changes?
Yeah, I think corporate America is going to be easier because there are rates, there are some rules about repatriation and the like. It's a little more limited what the set of initiatives that would have to be done to lower the rates, which the president has pledged to do. When it comes to the individuals, there's a lot of components to this because Congress has, and the states, but they'll be worried about the federal code, have really, taken the tax code to 74,000 pages. So to pare that down, there are some things that are going to have to be done probably in a step function way. This year, for example, to get ready for the season, we had to do 16,000 regulatory changes based on changes in the tax code. So it's pretty complicated even now. And so as you start to peel that back, there are some common sense things to do, like child care, like the definition of a child. There are 5 different definitions of a child in the tax code. These are some common sense things that I think we can help with.
Well, let's talk about some of the things that are going to affect middle class and some lower income people. The IRS has decided or is delaying refunds for some 40 million low income folks across this country. Why are they doing that?
Well, that actually was driven by Congress. Congress saw the improper payment rate for earned income credit filers approaching almost a third of all filers, and it was about $14 to $17 billion every year going out the door for improperly filed earned income credits. So they directed the IRS, you have to delay refunds until effectively February 15th, but by the time refunds work their way through the system, consumers won't see it till the end of February. So that has been a big change for people, who depend on that refund as the largest financial event for many Americans in the year. Now we have a product that we're offering in our offices called a Refund Advance. It's interest-free, no hidden fees, up to $1,250 as an advance against your refund. And then when the refund comes in, we get paid back, and then we give the rest to the consumer. Interest-free, no hidden fees.
Bill, your company is teaming up now with IBM Watson, which Watson has been used in retail markets, Staples, Macy's. What's this about, and how is this going to help the consumer?
Yeah, we're very excited about this. We were really influenced by and inspired by the work they've done in oncology and radiology and with teachers. And we thought that a consumer application for us, where the tax professional is not too much different from a doctor in terms of the array of options that they're faced with a complicated set of issues like a tax code, whether it be state, local, in addition to federal. So I called IBM out of the blue last June. They have been terrific. They pledged to get something in place by this tax season. When you come into our offices, now each client has their own monitor that they're going to be working with and make the interaction much more vibrant, much more vital in terms of the conversation. You're not just sitting on your phone. You're actually talking to the tax pro. Watson is helping the tax pro to prompt various credits and deductions because we want to make sure you get every one you can. And what ultimately Watson can do is really look at the situation for people like me. If you're a journalist living in New York with whatever kind of filing status, they are going to know about other journalists living in New York and their filing status and what might be possible for them. So it's very exciting for us. IBM's excited, we're excited to win, and it launches Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, that's really cool. My producers are, I think they're still miffed at me from last year when I was like, guys, I gotta go, file my taxes because it was April 15th, and I waited until that very day, that very night. I was looking on the website for the U.S. Post Office to find which post office was open past like 5 o'clock here in New York City. So this question is for them so that they know that I'm actually going to file early this year. Why is it better to file sooner rather than later, besides the obvious reasons?
One of the reasons is, and while this has been declined, identity theft is part of the tax business. Now, it declined last year by over 50% for the industry. We've worked with the IRS, the other tax preparation companies, but it is better to file early. The other piece is, and especially as we're coming forward with Watson, we're going to be finding things, some possible deductions or credits you may have that you may have to then run home and get some paperwork or pull down a file or whatever that might allow you to either pay less to the IRS or make your refund bigger. So this year you do have till April 18th.
You shouldn't have told me that.
It's a quirk in the calendar that the tax season actually ends April 18th this year.
We told him April 10th.
All right. I'm sorry. I ruined that. Sorry about that.
That's really great.
CEO and President of H&R Block, Bill Cobb, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.